Welcome to Cradle to Golden Years. I'm Dr. John Thompson, Director of the Aging and Youth Services Department. The mission of Aging and Youth Services is to improve the quality of life of children, youth, and seniors through the development and coordination of programs and advocacy that achieve self-sufficiency, sustainability, and civic engagement. The Aging and Youth Services Department is in its first year of implementing a 5-year strategic plan called Cradle to Golden Years. We spent several months developing our key priorities with community stakeholders through town hall meetings and community forums. Today's show will provide you a framework of our strategic plan and how we got there. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back. The Aging and Youth Services Department is in its first year of implementing a 5-year strategic plan called Cradle to Golden Years. We were happy to develop this plan along with our key priorities with community stakeholders through town hall meetings and community forums. In September and October of 2015, team members from our Office of Aging and Office of Children and Youth conducted 26 public forums in the community to discuss issues impacting children, youth, and seniors. Forum venues range from the South Annex, North Annex, libraries, and schools. Participants provided input and shared evidence-based practices and best practices that would be useful in improving the quality of life of the county's residents. There are a few highlights from the forums held throughout the county. A total of 19 themes emerged from the public forums and exemplified the areas of greatest concern. For Children's Services, concerns about education, family, health, mental health, safety, socioeconomic, and transportation. As far as Senior Services, during the forums, residents expressed interest in caregiver services and support, education and outreach, elder abuse, neglect, and exploitation, program enhancements, safety, socialization, socioeconomic, staffing, technology, and transportation. As you can see, we spent lots of time hearing from the community and engaging the people about our strategic plan. When we come back, we'll talk about how we took this feedback to develop 5 strategic priority areas. Welcome back to Cradle to Golden Years. Again, I'm Dr. John Thompson, Director of Fulton County's Aging and Youth Services Department. Today we're discussing how the Aging and Youth Services Department developed its 5-year strategic plan, Cradle to Golden Years. Joining me to discuss the plan's strategic priorities is my good colleague, Ladisa Onilagwu. Ladisa was instrumental in helping me develop the Cradle to Golden Years plan. Welcome to the show, Ladisa.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson.
Ladisa, can you share with us your perspective of how we developed the plan?
Yes. During the fall, you convened a couple of team members within our agency to start asking and answering some of those tough questions. Where are we as an agency in terms of service delivery, customer service, evaluation of our operations and programs? Where do we want to be in the next year? Even 2, 3, or 5 years. And then, how does our future really look? From there, our team started to collect data regarding the Office of Children and Youth and the Office of Aging. And then we structured a model where we could share this information with the community. We took that information out to the strategic planning forums and had an opportunity to share the information, but also gain further feedback and insight from our stakeholders. After conducting about 26 forums, we gathered all that information and compiled what we have.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yes.
Why so many forums?
It was very important to us that we touched every part of Fulton County. So we traveled to North Fulton and conducted about 5 to 6 planning forums with stakeholders in the children and youth area, from preschool directors, public school educators, nonprofit organizations, and we duplicated that model in the central area, Fulton County, and the South as well. We knew that we didn't want to skew any information, and we wanted to touch as many people as possible in gathering all that information. And that's how we created our strategic plan.
Perfect. And so at these forums, do you think that we had good representation from the provider side, advocacy groups, as well as taxpayers receiving services from the county?
I think we did, and you even had vision and insight to start the forums internally. We didn't take our structure, our model to the community until you actually talked to the employees of the Aging and Youth Services Department. So they were able to really give their input from an internal perspective of what's important to them in service delivery and the programs that we offer. And then we built that out for the rest of the community.
Perfect. Now you mentioned service delivery. Tell me about the service delivery models that really shaped this plan.
We decided to look at ways to improve our efficiency and how we're really effective in impacting the lives of our seniors and our children and youth. So the agency highlights two service delivery models. The first one is Cradle to Career. And that's where we're able to focus on children entering kindergarten, supporting those students in school, making sure that they graduate through measurable outcomes. We really look at students entering vocational education or post-secondary education or even careers. And then the last spectrum of that is becoming positive contributors to society. The second delivery model is the Career to Golden Years, and that's where we really focus on our seniors in Fulton County and how they can best age in place.
Perfect, perfect. I mean, it makes a lot of sense to have a model where we focus on our little ones, because at the end of the day, are kids ready when they enter the third grade? And we focus on the literacy rate of those children, because if you look at statistics, as kids progress or students progress through schools, if they don't get that meaningful education, it will more than likely lead to a point in time later in life where they're dropping out or they become so disinterested in school. And so I'm so glad that the department has the model to focus on our children and youth, as well as I'm excited about the model focusing on our seniors and our young adults.
Yes.
Just looking at myself, it's so easy to focus on today. But focusing on the opportunity that one day I will not be working as much as I work now, and that I have to have money saved up for retirement. I have to be able to make sure that I have enough saved up so that I don't have to go out and work. I see so many seniors working in Washington, D.C. and now working here where they depended on that job. Some folks you see in their golden years, they're okay with working or volunteering their time. They don't have to do it. They're doing it to combat social isolation. Now the issue is when you see that senior, they need that job, they need a hot meal, and they're trying to pay for prescription drugs. Yes, I'm so thankful for the Affordable Care Act. I'm so thankful for the vision of President Obama and his administration. However, our seniors still need more. We see it every day in Fulton County, and so I'm so glad that the department has these two models, and it's going to really impact our citizens in a very meaningful way. Let me ask you another question. What are the strategic priorities that come with this? 5 priorities for this plan?
There are 5 in this plan. The first one is increasing our capacity for impacting those that are most vulnerable. To make sure that we're addressing their social, their mental, and their health issues as well, as much as possible. The second priority is where we look at improving relationships across generations. I know that you had a passion for intergenerational initiatives in Washington, D.C., and you've brought that passion down here to Atlanta, Georgia. So that's a major focus for this strategic plan. And as we stated, it's 5 years, but we do have a plan to build that out. We've started some initiatives this year because we recognize that there's a major gap in our culture and in our society between the older generation and the younger generation. And that gap is widening. And there's a lack of investment and information being transferred from one generation to the next. And we want our students to achieve their golden years. The third priority is really the heart of our agency. It's where we're establishing and maintaining a culture of quality service displayed through transparency and integrity. So we've started looking at internal policies and procedures, aligning those with the county's personnel regulations, and making sure that our employees are well equipped and skilled to really deliver the service that we've promised to the citizens of Fulton County. The fourth strategic priority is where we're implementing innovative practices. Okay. And then the fifth one is a tongue twister, is where we're promoting preparations for a healthy and productive future. What does that mean? It means that seniors still have thriving lives to live, but there is a threat to their future in financial terms. One of the biggest threats to seniors right now is fraud and scams. In terms of our children and youth, we want to make sure that they're prepared and ready to be positive contributors to Fulton County and society.
That is very amazing. Now tell me this. In our first priority, you mentioned about addressing the social needs and addressing the human needs, the physical needs of the consumer. So what are some examples that the agency is executing in terms of projects or initiatives to ensure that we're meeting those needs of the vulnerable population in Fulton County?
This is a continuation of what the Office of Aging has been doing for years through our contracted services. We provide numerous in-home services, from light housekeeping to respite, to home delivered meals, which is a major component. You're very well aware of the lack of nutrition and nutritious meals that our seniors actually receive. So those contractors do provide that helps seniors to age in place.
And it's so important, especially as we focus on light duty housekeeping or light duty services for that senior, and cleaning the home and making sure it's free of clutter. And I'll tell you one thing, if seniors are living in a cluttered environment, they're more prone to falls, and that leads to other complications. They're falling and they can experience a fractured hip or a broken hip. And then I know in Washington, D.C. that we had about 58 seniors who would die annually because of a broken hip. And so that is a very serious issue to make sure that we have homes that are decluttered, and so seniors can remain in a very comfortable home. But we need to go to a commercial break, and I want to thank you so much for your time, but we have so much more to talk about. And so let's break, and we'll come back with more information to share with our audience today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's go to break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Cradle to Golden Years. Again, I am Dr. John Thompson, Director of the Aging and Youth Services Department. We have joining us today Darrell Jackson Jr., Deputy Director of the Aging and Youth Services Department. Thank you for joining us, Darrell.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. And I want to turn my conversation back to Ladisa. Ladisa, thank you so much for giving us a nice overview of the strategic plan. Now, if you would, could you tell us a little bit about the projects or the initiatives that the agency has implemented as it pertains to children and youth?
Yes, one of the most important projects that we'll be moving forward with this year is through our partnership with Fulton County Public Schools. We know that we really won't be a success unless we have that body of that system, that governing body, on board with us to look at the compelling needs of those students. And of course, they change based on the schools, based on the demographics, the location. So we'll be implementing an MOU with Fulton County Public Schools that allows us to fund specific initiatives that were pitched by different schools, and we intend to continue that throughout the year. But it allows us to move from a direct service delivery to more of an indirect, where we can really invest in outcomes. We can track the data from those programs, and we project to impact about 1,500 students this year.
Excellent. That is so excellent. And you mentioned outcomes, and I want to turn my attention to Darrell. So what is the agency doing to truly evaluate the impacts of these programs? And so I know you have a background in Six Sigma, and a lot of folks only get caught up in counting the number of folks that we serve. But as government, we must get beyond just counting widgets. We must get to the point of not focusing on how many children ate lunch today, not how many seniors came to the center today, but focus on what are the impacts of each dollar that we spend on those programs, and is it truly impacting the quality of life? So tell me a little bit about what the agency is doing to evaluate programs.
So you're absolutely right, Dr. Thompson. It's really about those outcomes and really engaging with our seniors and our youth to really see how we're really moving that needle and really changing their lives. So we're creating dashboards and meeting with the county manager on a quarterly basis to really measure how we are making an impact. So for students coming out of 8th grade, are they really coming out of 8th grade into high school? Are they really graduating on time? Those are some of the outcome measures that we're looking at. Are seniors really being impacted by the services that we offer? Are they really aging in place? So really evaluating those. And to do those evaluations, what we do is tap into the community again. So have town hall meetings as well as you did from the front end, do it on the back end to really measure, are these performance measures, are they being accomplished by these initiatives that Ladisa talked about earlier.
How often do you envision that we'll go to the community and update them about the progress of the agency?
Yeah, our plan is to really have town hall meetings quarterly with our affinity groups or our community groups, so like our friends of at the facilities that we have. We really want to tap into those individuals and really tap into like our youth commissioners.
Ladisa, can you talk about some of the projects or the programs that you're partnering with Fulton County Schools? What are some of those programs?
We've had an opportunity as an agency to meet for a few months now with Fulton County Schools and really listen to what their needs were, from disciplinary issues to challenges with integrating technology into day-to-day learning. At the beginning of the year, we had an opportunity to attend the Seed Fund Pitch, which is an annual occurrence for schools to talk about solutions to their problems that meet specific needs for students. Aging and Youth Services decided to come on board and look at about 4 more schools that we could invest in. And some of those projects that we'll be supporting this year deal with disciplinary issues in school and how students lose a lot of classroom learning because of behavioral challenges. So there's one initiative that will meet that need. There's another program that addresses before school learning and supports parents that have to go to work, but the program translates into what the students will be gaining during the day.
Awesome.
There is another critical component, which is aftercare.
Okay.
We're parents, and we can identify with parents that have to make arrangements for after school, but we want the learning to continue.
Right.
So there's some very good programs after school where students just don't sit around and read. They actually have programs that align with the continued learning for the entire year.
This is great.
And if I could add to what Ladisa is saying, we're really working within interdepartment within Fulton County, so looking at Parks and Recs and looking at other agencies where we can partner just to make sure that our programs are aligned with not only Fulton County public schools,
Right.
but Atlanta public schools
Perfect.
as well.
Perfect. And I like the different programs, especially the disciplinary program. I mean, when you think about children who find themselves in trouble with the school system and, being out of class does not help them. And then we don't even think about the parents.
Yeah.
I mean, the parents have to miss work because they have to be at home with that child, depending on the age of that child. And so it's not a win-win situation for anyone. And so being able to focus the investment dollars and the energy in a program like this, I can see that this could be the catalyst in being able to invest in schools across the county where we can provide more support for those children who may have behavioral issues, and truly understanding is a behavioral issue. If so, are we looking into the family? Are we looking at home and figuring out what is going on at home? Something at home could be triggering what they're doing at school. And so I'm glad to hear about that program. And the after school enrichment program is so important. And we want to bolster that student's learning experience for that particular day, for that particular week. And so that when they get home, they can do less. I mean, mom and dad come home late in the evening and they're trying to help them with the homework. And so this is our opportunity to invest those dollars so that we can have a true impact on the community. I want to direct my attention to Daryl. Can you tell us about some of the projects that the aging office is looking at?
Yeah, so there are several projects that we're doing on the aging side where we're really looking at, one, how to cut down on waste. So we're really wanting to be responsible with our with government dollars. So we're looking at a program called What a Waste, where we're going into our facilities and looking at the meal planning and the food within our facilities and figuring out how can we really cut down on the waste that we see in those facilities. Also, we're looking at how can we fill in the gap of transportation. That is a huge issue around seniors and getting them from one place to another. So we're partnering with partners like Uber and looking at technology just to see how we can do things better. So that's some of the things that we're doing around aging. We're also trying to really make our facilities accredited so that we can be the top-notch facilities that we are.
Awesome, awesome. That accreditation will mean a lot, and also it will put the pressure on us to make sure that we provide the best services when it comes to operations, when it comes to the budget, and to just overall quality customer service. And so I'm very pleased to hear that the agency is making it its priority to move the agency forward so that we can serve our customers in a more effective way. So thank you so much. Thank you, Ladisa, for your insight today on the strategic plan. It's been very enlightening, and thank you so much for really helping us from day one in getting the strategic plan together. It has been a huge success, and I mean, this is just the beginning, and as we complete out our first year of the strategic plan and roll it out, I'm very excited. Daryl, thank you so much for your leadership and for being able to evaluate the program with your Six Sigma background, and so it's really going to hold us accountable and so that we can be transparent to our customers, to our citizens. We'll be right back with my closing thoughts. Today we introduce you to the Cradle to Golden Years strategic plan. Throughout our show, we told you how the Aging and Youth Services Department is working to expand our efforts to fully implement this service delivery model that positively impacts you, the citizens of Fulton County. This show in general will help us highlight the significant role children, youth, and seniors play within our community. For more information about our department, please contact us at 404-612-9558. That's 404-612-9558. Or email us at agingandyouth@fultoncountyga.gov. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Cradle to Golden Years.